mantra also. During the japa session yesterday, 75 books distributed. Sankirtan Yajna Ki Jai. And again, for the pleasure of the lordships, we want to gratefully acknowledge the kind and generous donation from Hema Krishna and Ananga Kamala Devidasi for their donation towards deity seva, go seva, and Anand Khan. And also from Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu for sponsoring.
Hi Krishna, can everybody hear me?
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Gopal Krishna Goswami Namine Prabhupada Sahitam Yaha Prakasha Vitriya Pracharam Kritwan Sadhu Bhagavad Padaya Te Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Desha Tarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. सबसे पहले हम करेंगे 10 नाम अपराध जिनसे सदैव बचकर रहना चाहिए। सबसे पहला भगवान नाम के प्रचार में जीवन को समर्पित करने वाले भक्तों की निंदा करना। दूसरा शिव ब्रह्मा आदि देवों को भगवान नाम के समान अथवा उनसे स्वतंत्र समझना। तीसरा गुरु की अवज्ञा करना अथवा साधारण मनुष्य समझना। चौथा वैदिक शास्त्रों एवं प्रमाणों का खंडन करना। पांचवा हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र के जप की महिमा को काल्पनिक समझना। छठा पवित्र भगवान नाम में अर्थवाद का आरोप करना। सातवां नाम के बल पर पाप करना। आठवां हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र जप को वेदों में वर्णित एक शुभ सकाम कर्म कांड के समान समझना। नौवां श्रद्धालु को कृष्ण नाम की महिमा का उपदेश करना। 10वां भगवान नाम के जप में पूर्ण विश्वास न होना और इसकी इतनी अगाध महिमा श्रवण करने पर भी भौतिक आसक्ति बनाए रखना। अपने आप को वैष्णव समझने वाले प्रत्येक भक्त को चाहिए 10 प्रकार के नाम अपराध से सदैव बचकर रहे ताकि श्री कृष्ण के चरण कमलों में प्रीति शीघ्र अति शीघ्र प्राप्त हो, जो मनुष्य जीवन का परम लक्ष्य है। हरे नाम प्रभु की जाए। So let's start the chanting. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Re Ram 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 Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Rama Rama Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Rama Rama Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Rama Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Rama Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re 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 Krishna 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 Re 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 Ram Re Re Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Re Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaitara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Ram Hare Hare Krishna Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम
Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram
हरे कृष्ण
Hare
Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram
हरे
Ram
कृष्ण
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
कृष्ण
Hare
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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna Hare Ram Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare Krishna
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Ram
Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Hare Hare Ram
Hare Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Ram Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare
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 Ram
Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
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 Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Hare Ram Ram
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Ram
Krishna
Re
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Re
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram Hare Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare
Chaitanya Prabhu
Ram
Nityananda Shri Ram Hare Ram Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Hare,
Ram
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 Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Ram Hare Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Ram
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram Hare
Ram
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 Hare
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 Ram
Krishna
Hare Ram Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Ram Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare
Ram 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 Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram
Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram
Ram Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Hare Ram 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 Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Ram
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 Hare
Hare
Ram Ram Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Ram
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Hare
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram 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 Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Hare
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna
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 Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Ram
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Ram
Krishna 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 Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram Ram Ram
Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Ram Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram
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 Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna
Ram
Krishna
Ram, Hare Hare,
Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram
Ram
Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram
Hare,
Hare Hare
Ram Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Ram
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare
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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Ram Hare Ram,
Ram
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 Ram Ram
Hare
Hare Hare
Krishna
Ram,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram
Hare
Ram
Krishna
Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Ram Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare Hare
Krishna Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare, Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare
Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram Hare Hare,
Ram 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 Hare
Ram Ram Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hi Krishna. So now we'll have the Guru Vashtaka.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Then with Ram.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Then with Haribo.
ಸಂಸಾರದ ವಾನನನಿದಲು
प्राणाय कारुण्य गणागणात्वं प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणानवास्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं महाप्रभु कीर्तन नित्य गीता वादित्रमाद्यान् मनसोरसेना रोमाञ्चकम्पा श्रुतरङ्गभाजो वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं श्रीविग्रहाराधन नित्यनाना शृङ्गारतान्मादिर्मजनादो युक्तश्च भक्तश्च नियुञ्जतोऽपि वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं चतुर्विधा श्रीभगवत्प्रसादो स्वादानतृप्तान् हरिभक्तसङ्गा कृत्वैव तृप्तिं भजत सदैव वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं श्रीराधिका माधवयोरपारा माधुर्यलीला गुणरूपनाम्नां प्रतीक्षणा स्वादनलोलुपस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं निकुञ्जयोनो रतिकेलिसेदि यायानिभिर्योक्तिनपेक्षणीया तत्रातिदाक्ष्यात् अतिवल्लभस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं साक्षादरित्वेन समस्तशास्त्रे युक्तस्तथा भायतैव सात्विक किन्तु प्रभुर्य प्रिय एव तस्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं यस्य प्रसादात् भगवत्प्रसादो यस्य प्रसादात् नगति कुतोऽपि धायस्तुवंस्तस्य यशस्त्रीसन्ध्यां वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं संसारदावानरनिधलोका त्राणाय कारुण्यगणगणात्वं प्राप्तस्य कल्याण गुणानवास्य वन्दे गुरु श्रीचरणरविन्दं हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय।
God Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So let's have the Tulsi Aarti.
हरे कृष्ण माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dhanwad.
वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। वृंदाय तुलसी देवाय प्रियाय केशवश च कृष्ण भक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः। नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्णा प्रियसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्णा सेवा पाबो हे अभिलाषी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्णा प्रियसी नमो नमः। जे तुम्हार शरण लाए तार वांछा पूर्ण হয় कृपा कर करी तारे वृंदावन वासी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्णा प्रियसी नमो नमः। मोरे अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो बास नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्णा प्रियसी नमो नमः। এই নিবেদন ধরো সখীর অনুগত করো সেবা অধিকার দিয়ে করো নিজ দাসী নমো নমঃ। তুলসী কৃষ্ণা প্রিয়সী নমো নমঃ। दीन कृष्ण दासे कय এই अनमोर হয় श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदायन भाषी नमो नमः। तुलसी कृष्णा प्रियसी नमो नमः। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रण्याशन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रण्याशन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्महत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रण्याशन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी। जय वृंदे देवी जय वृंदे देवी वृंदे देवी जय वृंदे देवी। तुलसी महारानी की जय, वृंदा देवी की, भक्ति देवी की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल।
हरि हरि बोल। श्री शिक्षाष्टकम की जय। चैतन्य महाप्रभु की जय। चैतोदर्पणं मार्जनं भवमादावाग्नि निर्वापनं श्रेयाखैरव चन्द्रिका वितृणं विद्यावधू जीवनम् आनन्दं बुद्धिवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृता स्वादनं सर्वात्मा स्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्। नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति सत्रापिता नियमते स्मरणे न काला। एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवी दिस्मिहाजनी नानुरागा। त्रिनादपि सुनिचेन तरोरपि सहेशुना अमानिना मानदेना कीर्तनीये सदा हरि। नाधनं नाजनं ना सुन्दरं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद भक्ति रहे अतुकी त्वयि। अयि नंद तनुज किंकरं पतितं मां विस्मय भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पाद पंकज स्थित धूलि सदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया वदनं गदगद हृदया गिरा पुलकैर्निचितं वपु कदा तव नाम ग्रहणे भविष्यति। युगायतं निमिषेषण चक्षुषा प्रवशायतं शून्यायतं जगत्सर्वं गोविन्द विरहे मे। आश्लिष्य वा पादरन्तां विनष्टु मामदर्श मां हन्तां करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत प्राणनाथस्तु स एव नापरा। Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So the eighth verse, the meaning for the eighth verse. Ashlisha va padantam penashtu mamadharsha mamhantam karotu va yatha tatha va vidhatu lampato mat prananatastu sa eva napara. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. So Bhagwan kaise bhi mere saath be like how whatever is dealing with me is, भगवान कैसे भी मुझे reciprocate करे, but मेरा क्या भाव रहेगा, what is my faith, that my faith will be always strong in him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives his own example and he says, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. Have full faith in him. That's why he is saying that we should have full faith in him. Unless we have full faith, whatever we are doing, whatever bhakti we are actually doing, whatever devotional service we are doing, that will be of no use if we don't have faith. So he says here clearly, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly. Whether we have rough situations in our life, whether we face so many problems in our life, whether he leaves us broken hearted, and by not being present before us, yet he will always be remain the most worshipful Lord. He says here, he is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally. So, unconditionally, he is our Lord, Supreme Lord. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, I'll be reading from the Prabhupada quotes. Prabhupada says about book distribution. Our book distribution is most important task in our society. So that's what he says. It's the most important task in our society. Therefore, I'm giving so much stress and I'm working so hard on this because this is my life and soul, according to the order of my Guru Maharaj. And by his grace, it is to some extent successful. I took it seriously. I take it seriously now. That is my life and soul. I never tried in India to construct big temple, or even in your country, we did not. I never tried, but I was selling personally books. That is the history. So that is his life and soul, and that is the life and soul of our Guru Maharaj also. So Guru Maharaj is always, he's actually focusing on book distribution, and he tells us also. So we are very fortunate that we are the privileged ones. Those who are doing the book distribution, they are the privileged ones. So we should remain that, we should have that privilege always with us, and we should pray to the Supreme Lord that please let us be fortunate, let us be privileged ones, that we can distribute your books. So we should be trying to distribute Bhagavad Gita as much as it's yatha shakti, as we can. We should put full energy into it. So Prabhupada says regarding Sankirtan and book distribution is also chanting. Anyone who reads the books, that is also chanting and hearing. Why distinguish between chanting and book distribution? These books I have recorded and chanted, and they are transcribed. It is spoken kirtans. So book distribution is also chanting. These are not ordinary books. It is recorded chanting. Anyone who reads, he is hearing. Book distribution must not be neglected. So Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Bhagavad Pad ki jai. So we have a special guest today with us, my god sister from Canada. That's Banke Bihari Devidasi. She's with us right now. And I would put her on the spotlight, please. Meenakshi Mataji, please put her on the spotlight so that everybody can see her. Put her on the speaker's view.
Yes, she's on. Hare Krishna Mataji, welcome. Dandavat Pranam.
So she's on the speaker.
Yes, she's on the spotlight, Mataji.
You can hear me?
Yes. Hare Krishna. You're welcome. It's been many years I haven't met her. It's been 4 or 5 years. 2016 I last visited Vancouver. So we had always from my first visit till the 2016 visit, I've always been to meeting her and had lots and lots of fun together in bhakti. So I welcome you, Banke Bihari. And everybody's so excited to meet you. This is my group. Only few people are here. Many are on the YouTube also, and many are sleeping also. So they will watch you later. It's a recorded program. It'll be recorded in the YouTube. It'll be available there. So we welcome you. And she's our book distributor in Vancouver. And I must introduce you, everybody to her, that everybody here is also trying to do book distribution. They are getting motivated. They are Banke Bihari. They are all almost new in bhakti. They joined me in the lockdown, say 1.5 years back, and now they all are trying to become devotees, and they're all in their capacity trying to do book distribution also. So my group, they did this year they did 600 Bhagavatam sets, and till now they have done more than like 4,000 Bhagavad Gitas. So our target is much more. We are still striving to do 2,000 more Bhagavad Gitas. So I want them to get motivated by you. She is a book distributor there, but I must tell everybody, she is a very hard working book distributor. Hamare jaise nahi, not like us, just calling and talking. She goes on the streets. She carries big bag on her shoulder. I have personally done the book distribution with her. Now I will not hold her. She will tell you all about it herself. So go ahead, Banki Bihari.
Okay, well, the good news is I don't carry them on my back anymore. Now I have a cart.
Oh, very nice.
So I pull them in a little cart now because my back was getting sore.
Yeah, I can understand. So
Okay, well, I think I'm going to start by letting everyone know that my plan when I came to Krishna consciousness actually wasn't to become a book distributor because I'm a very shy person. I'm very introverted. I like to really keep to myself, you know, and I don't really like to look people in the eye and talk to people that I don't know. So I thought to myself, okay, well, I have to have some kind of service. I don't care what it is, just as long as it's not distributing books, you know, clean the pots, wash the floor, whatever, but I'm just not going to distribute books. Like I just told myself, like I'm just not going to accept it as my service. But Krishna had his own plan and he kind of actually tricked me into distributing books because I got an email one day saying that there was going to be Harinam on the weekend and, you know, please show up down the temple at such and such time. So like Harinam's fun, right? You're just singing and dancing. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to do that. So I showed up and a devotee approached me and said, oh, are you here from the Harinam? And I said, yeah. And he said, okay, well, you know, we're going to get in this van over here. So I get in the van and his wife's in the van also. And I'm looking around and I don't see anybody but the three of us. So I assumed that I was late and maybe everybody else already left in some other vans, right? So this is what I'm thinking. So I'm going to join the Harinam later. So we're driving. And then his wife says to me, oh, do you know that you're the only person who showed up? And I said, no, I didn't know that. And they said, well, because you're the only person who showed up, my husband's going to take you book distributing instead. And I can remember inside my body, you know, I was screaming, no, I'm not distributing books, anything but books. I'm not distributing books. So honestly, it really felt like I didn't even breathe like for the rest of the time. So we get down to the book distribution spot. I don't know anything about it. And he loads me up like with a great big stack of books. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, like I thought I was going to throw up. My nerves were shaking. And I thought, how am I going to do this book distribution? I don't know how to do book distribution. And then I thought, wait a minute, all I have to do is just walk around with all these books for a couple hours and then meet back at the van. So that's how I figured I was going to get out of doing books. So I'm walking around with my books and the wife, she was driving the van to go shopping. So it was just me and the husband and he went like a block away or something. So I'm there all by myself. And I'm walking around for a long time and I'm getting really, really bored and I need to sit down. I'm getting tired. So I go into the SkyTrain station and I sit there and I look over to my left and I see this boy sitting there and he looked really, really sad. And I forgot all about the fact that I was supposed to be trying to distribute books. So instead I just struck up a conversation with him. You know, and he was telling me all these like sad stories and everything. And then all of a sudden, like Krishna said, you've got books, like show him the book, show him. Anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, oh, hey, you know, I've got a book here. So I start showing him the book and the pictures and I started preaching to him the philosophy and everything. And I noticed like his whole body language, everything, he started to come alive and, you know, he was feeling hopeful. Anyway, so I ended up giving him a book and I asked him for a donation. And so that was, you know, my book went out. And then I thought, oh, that was an accident, you know? So then I went walking around some more and waiting for the time to like go by. And then I saw these three men standing together talking, and they were young Indian men, probably I would say in their mid 20s. So I thought, oh, here's some men from India. Because they're from India, they're going to understand the Bhagavad Gita. They're going to want to take one. This is going to be so easy. So I go over and I start talking to them, but only one person spoke English. The other two didn't speak English. So I was speaking to the one person and then he was translating to the other two. And I had my Bhagavad Gita open and I was showing him all the photos to all three of them. And then they would ask him questions and then he would interpret it. And then he would ask me the question and then I would say it back and then he would go back to it. Anyway, I get to the very end and I put a book in each of their hands. And the one fellow who could speak English, he said, come on, get your wallet out, give her some money, give her some money. You have to pay for the book, give her some money. So they gave me a donation. And then the one fellow said something, and the person who spoke English said to me, he says, he wants me to tell you that in India, he lives right next door to an ISKCON temple, but he's never been there. And he just thinks it's so ironic that he flew all the way to Canada, and now he has this Bhagavad Gita, and you're from an ISKCON center. Yeah, so that was my beginning days. But you know, I do remember in the beginning. Okay, so let me finish the story. So my 2 hours was up. I met everybody back in the van. We went back to the temple, and I was like, okay, I got that over with. I never have to distribute books again. Like, I was like so happy. I was never gonna have to distribute a book again. And then probably like another month went by, and I got another email saying, you know, about book distribution, that there was going to be some training in the temple or something. And I thought, no, I'm not going to go for that, you know. And then I got another email saying that there was another Harinam, and I thought, no, I'm not going to fall for that, you know. I'm not going to go for the Harinam and end up distributing books again. I'm not going to do that. And then my friend called me up. She's a book distributor. She called me and she said, you know, it's the marathon. I just need somebody like to go out with me. She didn't say I had to distribute books. She just wanted some company. So I thought I would go out with her distributing books. And I was just watching her, and she ran down the street and she kind of disappeared, and I got left with all these books. And then I thought, well, what am I going to do with all these books? So I was showing this person a book, showing a person a book, showing a book. I was showing all these people books, and everybody kept saying, no, you know. And it was like, I remember feeling, this is the worst service ever, you know, because people are saying no, they're making me feel bad about myself. But really, I didn't realize I was getting purification from the whole experience, right? Because when you go out, even if you don't manage to distribute any books, it's such a humbling experience that you get so much purification from it. So if they take the book, they get purification. Just the fact that you've gone out, you get purification. What to speak of, you know, if the book goes in their hand. And one thing you know, after I got better and better at distributing books, I started getting more confidence, and I started figuring out, you know, what to say and how to approach people. And one of the most blissful parts about book distribution for me was when a person would take a book, give a donation, and then I would see them walking down the street holding the book, and like, you know, they're just randomly opening it up and they're looking somewhere in the book, and I'm reading, and I'm wondering, you know, what are they reading? Like, what chapter are they reading? What page are they reading? You know, what is Srila Prabhupada saying? You know, what is Krishna saying? Because this is their first contact in this lifetime of anything that Krishna is saying or Srila Prabhupada saying. And just because we went out that day and tried. And also, you know, sometimes I would distribute books by the bus loop. So I would see people that would take books and give donations. They'd be sitting on the bus and they would be reading as the bus pulling out. And again, I would be filled with so much joy, because I'm thinking, which page are they reading? What chapter are they reading? You know, like I would say, you know, like during the marathon, you know, because it's a whole month, and I have to motivate myself, you know, to go every single day. Sometimes I don't feel like going out, but when I make myself go out, well, I can't make myself go. It's all the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya. So when I do go out, I always meet people that later tell me so many stories about how they were, you know, wandering around, suicidal, so hopeless about their life, not understanding what the meaning of life was. Some people would tell me that, hey, you know what? I was just praying to God as I was walking up the street, and then I met you. So many people, you know, after a while, they'll tell you their whole life story. And then you show them the pictures in the Bhagavad Gita, and you share some of the Krishna consciousness philosophy with you. And you can see how their face lightens up. They become happy. They're standing up taller, you know, because if we don't go out and distribute books, then all these people are just wandering around suffering, you know, because everybody wants to be happy in the material world, and there's nothing you can do materially to make yourself happy. You know, you can have lots of money, you can go to the mall, you can buy yourself things, but there's nothing you can do because all the happiness is within. You have to reestablish your connection with Krishna, but they just don't know that. So once you start sharing the philosophy with them by the books, and they take the book and they go home, then they find out, you know, for themselves. And, you know, it's like Srila Prabhupada said, these books are medicine, right? And everyone, they're diseased by by their contact with material nature. They're in a diseased position, but our books are the medicine. So all we have to do is go out there and just give them the medicine, and just think about how many people that we can help, you know, just by trying. Srila Prabhupada just asked us to try, that's all. Because it's not good enough just that, you know, we're going to go back to Godhead or try to go back to Godhead, that we're following this process. We also have to help others to go back to Godhead also, right? That's our responsibility. And that's Lord Chaitanya's mission. And Srila Prabhupada is, you know, trying to follow in his spiritual masters all through the disciplic succession. Everybody has the mission, and we're all in a family, and we're trying to help Srila Prabhupada, who's trying to help, you know, his spiritual master in the mission. And the mission, of course, specifically from Srila Prabhupada, is that, you know, he practically went without eating and sleeping to get these books translated in English. And like Mother Radhika Kripa was saying, that this is Srila Prabhupada's goal. He wants that more than nothing else. He said, as long as you keep distributing my books, your life will be success. And also somebody distributed a book to me, which is what brought me to the temple. And I really appreciate that. And quite a few people that I've distributed books later started coming to the temple as well. And I want to read to you a Srila Prabhupada quote. Before I go out on books, how I motivate myself is you know, every time I come across something about book distribution that Srila Prabhupada has said, you know, I'll read through my notes. And this is one that I really like. When asked, what if people don't want to hear our message? Srila Prabhupada replied, the people might not understand our message, but Krishna will be pleased. And that is our mission. And that really helps me out a lot on book distribution, especially if you're having a bad day and people don't want to stop and talk to you, or you're not distributing very many books. You just have to remember that Srila Prabhupada just asked us to try. So just by trying, whether the book goes out or doesn't go out, he said Krishna will be pleased, and that is our mission, just to try. And we want to please Srila Prabhupada, because we can go home back to Godhead just by pleasing Srila Prabhupada. And when I first joined the movement, I asked so many Srila Prabhupada disciples, what does Srila Prabhupada want the most? And mostly every single Srila Prabhupada disciple said Srila Prabhupada wants us to distribute his books. So if you want to go back to Godhead, then we're going to distribute his books, because we're going to please Srila Prabhupada. And, you know, at the time of death, you know, Prabhupada's going to say, you know, come with me, you're coming with me. And, you know, our life will have become a success. And also one last thing is in the Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, I always put it in my car when I'm driving out to my book distribution spot, because on pages 1073 to 1077, there's quite a long prayer that's Srila Prabhupada said to Krishna when he came to the United States, when he was in the Boston Harbor. So I read a lot of that prayer to remind myself of the purpose of me going out with my books. And I'm just going to read just a really short portion of that. So I'm quoting Srila Prabhupada. Somehow or other, O Lord, you have brought me here to speak about you. Now, my Lord, it is up to you to make me a success or failure as you like. O spiritual master of all the worlds, I can simply repeat your message. So if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. And that is what I pray every time before I go out on books. I just ask Srila Prabhupada, please be with me. a lot of times I have to go in book distribution by myself and I'm very scared. So I ask Prabhupada and I visualize Srila Prabhupada being with me. So you can do that. That's very helpful too. And if Srila Prabhupada's with you, then he's going to help you distribute the books. And when I'm talking to people, I pray to Lord Chaitanya and I say, Lord Chaitanya, can you please melt their heart? Because these people that we're talking to, especially here in Canada, you know, they've never heard the word Krishna. They don't know anything about Bhakti Yoga. They don't understand any of our philosophy. So you're talking and they're really not understanding very much. But you can say, you know, dear Lord Chaitanya, please melt their heart so they will take a book. And then even though they don't really understand what you're talking about, you know, Krishna will speak to them, Lord Chaitanya will speak to them from within their heart, and they'll take a book and they'll give a donation. Sorry for speaking so fast, but I get excited. That's it. Thank you very much.
That's wonderful. Oh, wonderful. You were all prepared and all set to speak, you know, good orator you are. So they would like to ask you a question. Anybody wants to ask her anything? Any question anybody wants? Yes, Priyanka has raised hand. She lives in Jaipur, Rajasthan. Yes, Priyanka. Just unmute her.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam. Mataji, it would be really helpful for us if you can share any one of your experience when you distributed a book and that person also become a distributor from like next year on a time being, because it's being really very hard to make a person a book distributor because people do take books from us, but they either don't read those books or they don't become associated with us. So if you can guide us on that part also, because our ultimate goal is we can include as many as people in this mission to distribute Krishna books.
Well, I can't say that I actually know anybody that I distributed a book to that became a book distributor, but I do have there is a person named Patrick Francis. When I was out it was during the marathon, and I saw him coming, so I had my Bhagavad Gita ready. And when he saw me, he had this idea right away, oh, this person's going to try to sell me something. And so he was trying to avoid me by hiding behind these pillars. But I knew to get to the end of the street, you know, where you exit out of the last pillar. So I don't know why I decided to be like this playful this day, but I decided, well, I'm going to hide behind the last pillar. So when he came to the last pillar and he thought he was getting around me because the pillars were behind me, when he got to the last one, I jumped out in front of him. And I scared him so much. He put his back up against the wall and his hand was up. So because his hand was up, I stuck the book in his hand and I started saying, you know, it's the Bhagavad Gita, you need to read it. But his eyes were all big and large, like, oh my God, she caught me. I don't know what's going on. And then he just took the book and he ran up the street with it. And I just didn't know what to do. I'd never had anybody actually just take the book from me and then run up the street away from me, you know, without me getting to show the pictures and, you know, my whole thing. And I just went, he's in your hands, Lord Krishna, you know, he's in your hands now. And then fast forward to about 3 or 4 years later, I'm walking to the parking lot. It's Sunday. I'm going to the Sunday feast. I'm walking to the parking lot to the temple. This man's coming down the hill. I don't recognize him. And he's saying, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Do you remember me? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. And he goes, you gave me a book on Commercial Street. And I said, I'm really sorry, but you know, I distribute a lot of books on Commercial Street. I'm sorry, I really don't know. I really don't remember you. He goes, well, anyway, you distribute this book to me, he says, and it was a really difficult time in my life. And he goes, I took the book home, and he says, all I did was read the book. He said it took him 2 weeks or something. He did nothing but read the book. He just slept and ate and read the book until he got to the very end or something. And he said it was exactly what he needed, and that he had decided he was going to completely change his life. And he told me that he had run into some other devotees and that they had invited him somewhere. And now he was regularly meeting up with that group of devotees. And I don't know what he was doing, his, you know, how we try to dovetail our activities. So he works in, I don't even know what the name of it is, but you know, for like the Rath Yatra Festival, how you do the sound system. So that's what he does. He works like with sound systems. So he was traveling around with devotees doing that. And we had finally run into each other again. So I can't really say that, you know, he became a book distributor, but at least he was at the temple, and he was with the devotees. So what I would say about that is it's really the mercy of Krishna and Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada, what's going to happen after someone gets a book in their hand. And the best thing that you can do really is say, okay, Krishna, now it's up to you. Because when we try to control too much, then it's kind of like we're trying to be the controller. And I've noticed that on book distribution, when I'm having a bad day, I start bad day as in I'm not distributing many books. I see that I then become less and less spiritual and more pushy and more attached to the result. And then when I'm less attached to the result and remembering that this is all Lord Chaitanya's movement, and it's up to him what happens on everyone's individual journey, because it's also based on their karma. And my job really is just to go out there and distribute the books, and Krishna and Lord Chaitanya can take care of everything else.
Very good. Wonderful. So, Baki, would you add anything more, or actually any about your, we did book distribution, both of us, you remember, in the downtown? You took me on the Sky Train, and then we were distributing in the downtown. And then say.
Well, it was quite some time ago. I just remember what you said. We went on the Sky Train. We went to downtown Vancouver. We were just walking around with the books. That's how we do our book distribution. We just walk around with the books, and we say, we look for people that are friendly, have bright faces, and I always say, hey, books on yoga and meditation helps relieve your stress, because everybody's stressed out, right? And then when a nice person stops to talk to me, then I open up the Bhagavad Gita, I show them the pictures, I share some philosophy with them. And even if you don't know what to say, because they're looking at the pictures, they're usually like, they're so attracted to the photos because they've never seen anything like that before, especially in North America, where no one has heard of Krishna or seen any of the beautiful paintings or, Radharani, anything like that. So they're very mesmerized, what these photographs mean. So that's how Mother Radhika and I were distributing books, just by stopping nice looking people and trying to talk to them. And if somebody doesn't want to talk to you, that's fine. You just go to somebody else. You don't take it personal, because it really has nothing to do with you. His Holiness Vaisheshik Prabhu says it's like doing book distribution is like picking fruit. So when you go to the fruit tree, you don't pick the green hard fruit, you pick the ripe soft fruit that you just touch it and it falls into your hand. And book distribution is the exact same way. When there's so many people, it doesn't matter if somebody's not interested, you just go to the next one, because there are really so many people that I've talked to that have said, I've been looking for a book just like this. And we have to find them, right? We have to weed through all the other people until we find the right ones. And they are there. And when we find one, it's very exciting that we can help reestablish their connection to Krishna.
She's very smart at it. She has really developed into a nice book. It's been how many years? Like 20 years now? How many years you've been doing book distribution?
No, not 20 years. I don't know, maybe 10. Maybe 10, I guess.
More than 10.
Maybe 10.
You met me 10 years back.
Did I? Okay. Maybe 13, maybe 15. I don't know. But honestly, I never planned on being a book distributor. But if that's what Krishna's plan is for you, then there's nothing that you can do.
She's done book distribution of my book also, Vaishnav Teachings in Sikhism. She's very smart. She spots out any Sikhs or any Punjabis, and she runs to them and she hands over the book to them. You remember when you did the Vaishnav Teachings in Sikhism?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we can do anything. Krishna, it says in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna is the supreme mystic.
Yes.
So when you go to do book distribution, what you need is to ask Krishna for his mysticism. I do that every time before I go out on books, because on our own, we're really not that capable of doing anything, right? Because the human being has 4 defects. So on our own, we're not really capable of accomplishing much. So we have to pray to the entire disciplic succession. We have to pray to Lord Chaitanya. We have to pray to Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta, everyone. to please, empower me to stop the right people. Please empower me once somebody stops, so that I can say the right words. And please, Krishna, I always say this, Krishna, you are the supreme mystic. So please use your supreme mysticism when I go out to do books today. Please help me save these people, because on my own, I can't save anybody. So please help me. Just please help me. So even when you're going out on book distribution, even if you're not, you're having a day where you're not selling very many books, it's so purifying, because you just have to keep praying the whole time. And that's what I do. I just keep praying the whole time. Krishna, please help me. Srila Prabhupada, please help me. Please help me. Please help me. I remember one time I was out on book distribution, and here in Canada in December for the marathon, it's extremely cold, and it was a really cold, really windy day, and people didn't want to stop because they were just running to get inside the mall. And maybe I distributed one book in 2 hours or something, and I was really starting to lose my enthusiasm so much that I decided I was just going to stop and go home. So I went inside the mall because I was cutting through to get to my car. So I went in the mall and I sat down, and even though I need glasses to read, I didn't have any glasses, but I just opened up the Bhagavad Gita by random, and it said, I can't quote it, but it said something about, you're working and all your works should be devoted to me, so all the work that you do is supposed to be for Krishna. So I was thinking, you know what, before I go home, I'm going to go back out and I'm going to work for Krishna instead of for my book points. Because, for the marathon, there's the book score, you know how many points you get for each book. So sometimes, my consciousness would be focused on the wrong thing, and I would just be thinking about my book score. So I said, I'm just going to go and I'm going to just work for Krishna. So I went back out. I saw this girl. I showed her the Bhagavad Gita. She was interested. She gave me a donation. And I said, that's for you, Krishna. That's work for you. And then I went to the next person, said my thing, talked to them. They took the book, and that's how the rest of the day went. And each time somebody took the book, I said, that's for you, Krishna. I'm working for you. And that's what you have to remember, right? We're not doing something for ourselves so we have a good book score. We're not doing something for ourselves so that we can feel like, maybe I'm going to win something, or people will like me. I'll be popular. I'm better than other people. It just always has to come back to, we're working for Krishna and we're trying to please Srila Prabhupada. And these people are going to hell. Okay. They're eating animals. They're eating the cows that are slaughtered. They don't even care because their consciousness is so distracted. They're drinking alcohol. It's like hell on earth practically. So they're going to hell if they don't come in contact with the devotee who gives them a book so they can remember who Krishna is. Then they're going to go to one of the hellish planets, and they're going to suffer a very long time. So we have to go out there. We have to show them the picture, and Lord Chaitanya and Krishna, they'll do all the rest.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bhagavad. It's wonderful. Once, when you're out, one day make a video and send us. That when you're doing book distribution, ask somebody's help to make a video for you. And then you can just send us and I'll show them here. Your video doing the book distribution in the malls, on the streets. So just
sure. Absolutely.
We'll have you again. It was wonderful talking to you. It was extremely nice of you to be here. And
thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for your motivation. Everybody is so motivated here, listening to you, that how you do it there in such extreme conditions. You're doing it. It's wonderful. And everybody has learned a lot from you. And there I can see the smiling faces here, and many on the YouTube also are writing. I can read a comment from the YouTube coming up. Thanks for sharing. Kavita Bhati says, thanks for sharing your experience. It's inspired us to distribute more and more books. So many have written. You can go on the YouTube yourself and you can read. Many people have written for you that they are so happy to see you here on the screen with them. And they are all saying this. Even we have there are many doctors here, and there is a Dr. Gunjan Mataji. She's here, the mother Gunjan Mataji. She says, we will do book distribution without feeling shy. So what you have really motivated them is not to be shy. So thank you so much. And we will have you again. Please, whenever you are free, let us know. Like you gave this day today, like your husband is taking care of Nitai and you are here with us. So it's wonderful. She is a busy housewife. She is just not a book distributor. She is a housewife also, a mother also. And in America and Canada, America, abroad, we know like it's not like India. They don't get any help from outside. They have to do everything on their own. So in India, we are lucky. We get lots of help here. But she's all on her own, husband and wife. They take care of the child. They take care of the home. They take care of all their needs. So much motivating she is. And yet she goes every day without fail for 3 to 4 hours on the streets to distribute books. That's the most toughest job. So we thank you, Bianca Berry. I hope to see you soon in Vancouver. Let's see, everything goes on well, and I'll see you soon in Vancouver. Hari Bol.
Well, thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much.
you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpataru bhaksha kripa sindhu bhaye vicha patita nam bhavane vyo vaishnavyo namo namo. Thakur ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav ki jai. Baki Bihari Devi Dasi ki jai. ISKCON Vancouver ki jai. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. So we end the session by 6:30 Indian time. So we just have 2 more things. You can be with us, and you can, if you have time, you can be with us. We'll be doing the Guru Vandana and a beautiful bhajan, and then we end with the Narsing Aarti. If you want to be, you're free to be with us. Hari Bol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So let's go ahead with the bhajan. Sabzar is singing. Sabzar Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
जे अनिलो प्रेमादना करुणा प्रचुर जे अनिलो प्रेमादना करुणा प्रचुर हेनो प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा कहाँ सनातन कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा कहाँ सनातन कहाँ दास रघु नाथा पतित पावन कहाँ मोरा भट जुगा कहाँ कविराज कहाँ मोरा भट जुगा कहाँ कविराज एका कले कोटा गेला गोरा नटराज पाषाणे कुटीबो माता आनाले पाशिबो पाषाणे कुटीबो माता आनाले पाशिबो गोरंगा गुनेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो से सब संगीरा संगे जे कोइलो बेलाश से सब संगीरा संगे जे कोइलो बेलाश से संगा न पाइया कांदे नरोत्तम दास जे अनिलो प्रेम धना करुणा प्रचुर जे अनिलो प्रेम धना करुणा प्रचुर हरे कृष्णा श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय
नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर का another beautiful bhajan नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर sings. कहते हैं, जो अप्रकृत प्रेम का धन लेकर आए थे तथा जो करुणा के भंडार थे, ऐसे श्रीनिवास आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ गए? मेरे स्वरूप दामोदर और रूप गोस्वामी कहाँ हैं? सनातन कहाँ है? पतित पावन रघुनाथ दास कहाँ है? मेरे रघुनाथ भट्ट और गोपाल भट्ट कहाँ हैं? कृष्णदास कविराज कहाँ है? महानर्तक श्री गौरांग प्रभु एकाएक कहाँ चले गए? मैं अपना सिर चट्टान पर मार कर फोड़ डालूंगा और अग्नि में कूद पड़ूंगा। सभी दिव्य गुणों के निधि स्वरूप गौरांग प्रभु को मैं कहाँ पाऊंगा? गौरांग प्रभु एवं उनके साथ लीला करने वाले संगियों का संग ना पाकर नरोत्तम दास मात्र रो रहे हैं. So this is how the acharyas, they are always feeling the separation from the from Krishna, from other senior devotees. So यहाँ पर वो अपने senior षड गोस्वामी जो हैं उनके बारे में he is speaking नरोत्तम दास ठाकुर कि मैं उनके बिना कैसा हूँ, विरहा में हूँ. So without virha we cannot have, बिना विरहा के भक्ति नहीं होती है. When you feel the virha from Krishna, then only bhakti होती है. सच्ची भक्ति, pure devotional life तभी हो पाती है. So Prabhupada ki jai, Narottam Das Thakur ki jai. Let's have a Guru Vandana. We have to be very quick. We are getting late. So let's have
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी इति नामिने प्रभुपादस्य सहितं य प्रकाशस्य वितीर्य च प्रचारं कृतवान् साधु भगवत्पदाय ते नमः. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनि इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. श्री गुरु चरणा पद्मा केवल भक्ति सद्मा वंदो मुई सावधान माते जहर प्रसादे भाई ए भव तोरिया जाई कृष्णा प्राप्ति होए जहाँ होते गुरु मुख पद्मा वाक्या चित ते कोरिया क्या अरना कोरी हो मने आशा श्री गुरु चरणे रति ऐसे उत्तम गति जे प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेमा भक्ति जहा होते अविद्या विनाश जाते वेद गाय जहर चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना हा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया इब जश गुशुक त्रिभुवाना प्रभु पाद पतित पवाना गुरुदेव लोइलो शराना जय प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा प्रभु पदा जय प्रभु पदा जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, गौर प्रेमानंद हरि हरि बोल.
Hari Hari Bol. So today we have the scores reading. I have to do the score reading. Let's. Yesterday, who all did the Bhagavad Gita with us? Let me read their names. Yeah, just a minute. Yes. So yesterday it was Priyanka. She did 21 and 20, 41 Bhagavad Gitas. Right, Priyanka? You can write in the chat box. Rekha Jain Mataji did 52 Bhagavad Gitas. Sneha Khera Mataji did again 10. Her score is rising every day. She has nearly done, yesterday, I told you earlier, she has crossed 400. So it's another, like must be 420 or 30 she has done. Anil Singla Prabhuji did 32. Neelam Rohila Mataji's niece did 32. She preached to her niece. Prabha Srivastava, she is from YouTube. She was here. She will speak tomorrow her experience. She's from YouTube. She listened us on the YouTube and then she was motivated to do. And she's done 32 Bhagavad Gitas. And there is Deepti Nanda Mataji. Yesterday she did 64 Bhagavad Gitas. Chandni Arora, she did 51, and Pooja Khandelwal Mataji did 32. So actually this is a bit different from abroad, what people do, like what Banki Bihari does. She goes around the streets. But in India, it is so that people know about Krishna, so it becomes a bit easy for us to just preach, and then we distribute these. Some are sponsored, some they distribute in their family functions, some distribute among relatives. So it's on the occasions, they pick up the sets from us, like the full cartons, and then they distribute among the families also. So here we distribute in the orphanages, in the schools, in the libraries, and like this, in the jails, in the prison houses, we do that. So a lot of book distribution is done there when the sponsored Bhagavad Gitas go there. So it's a bit different here, and our score has moved on to, it's crossing 4,000 now. And Mohan Rupa Prabhuji, the president of East of Kailash Temple, he called me up yesterday and he asked about our pledge. He asked me, what's your pledge, Mataji? So I said, my group has pledged to do much more than 5,000. We have actually taken the pledge on our own as 5,000, but we will exceed 5,000. So last year we did more than 60, we did 6,500. So this year we plan to do more. So we will be actually heading, I think so, we should head more for more than like 8,000. Let's do it this year. And बहुत अच्छा रहेगा अगर आप सब और जोश ऐसा ही दिखाएंगे. And like we should be motivated to do more and more Bhagavad Gita distribution to please Guru Maharaj. Neelam Rohila Mataji says for 10 BG, I don't know what she's writing. You can send money also there in the link, how to do. There is no option. Yeah, 10 Bhagavad Gita, there is no option. There is actually, she has kept the money with her, and what she does is then she will club it together. Abhi unhone 10 kiya hai jaise, so she will take more donations and make it a one carton, because less than a carton there is no option. So this is only, she has done it with her, and then she will be adding more money to it. When others donate more money to her, she'll club it together and then she'll book a carton and distribute it among them. So this way you can do. Like yesterday, Sabzar also from Jammu asked me, there was somebody in Jammu, they wanted to do 21 Bhagavad Gitas, but then there is no option for 21 Bhagavad Gitas. So in our payment link, only the option is one carton, that is 32 Bhagavad Gitas. So she is clubbing it together with another, maybe herself or somebody else, she'll preach. So the two persons will club together the money and the carton will be sent to Jammu. So this way it will happen. So we are doing it this way. जो लोग 10, 12, 15 गीता करना चाहते हैं वो एक दूसरे के साथ क्लब कर सकते हैं, वो किसी और को भी तैयार कर सकते हैं. इस तरह प्रीचिंग भी होगा, इस तरह यू आर मोटिवेटेड टू प्रीच अदर्स. तो आप दूसरों को कॉल करके अपने साथ जोड़कर एक कार्टन बना सकते हैं. सो वी हैव श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जाए, भगवद गीता मैराथन की जाए. सो yesterday I was scared because कल दोपहर तक कोई भगवद गीता का मैसेज नहीं आ रहा था. Nobody had given me a single message, and I was worried कि कल सुबह हम क्या बोलेंगे, because not a single Bhagavad Gita was done till yesterday evening, rather 4 o'clock. Then I looked into my messages. I was going through my messages, seeing who all have done. But then in the night, the messages started coming till late night. Also, Deepti Nanda Mataji, she did first 32 Bhagavad Gitas. Then later on, when I was about to sleep, there was another message came up. Then I've done 32 more, Mataji. I said, that's wonderful. So then there was another message came from Chandni Arora. She said, I've done 51. So then I said, really, they are working hard. That's nice. So keep motivated or keep on working hard. हमें 31st December तक मैराथन को रोकना नहीं है. We have to keep on trying till 31st December. That किन किन को हम preach कर सकते हैं और किन किन से हम जिन को like बांके बिहारी माता जी, Mother Banke Bihari, she said कि how we can really motivate, and we are helping others. There are hundreds and thousands of people are there, those who are sad and morose, and you can bring a change to their lives. So Krishna has chosen us to bring the change in their lives. So we are the fortunate ones. Hari Bol. So we have Guru Maharaj is right now in Vrindavan. He is in Vrindavan today from Kanpur. He has reached Vrindavan and soon he'll be reaching Delhi also. And Meenakshi Mataji says Narayan Prabhu has made some...
Mataji, you can have nursing Arti. Narayan Prabhu will show pictures.
Okay, let's start the nursing Adi. That's the we'll be ending the session. Today we are running late. So no, I hope that's not a problem with all of you. And today evening we had the Bhagavad Gita session. If you all remember, there's a count quiz and the 2-hour Bhagavad Gita session we have in the evening. Haribol. So let's have the nursing Aarti. Namaste Narasimhaya Ladadadadayine Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha Shrulatam Khanakhalaya Hito Narsinga Parito Narsinga Yato Yato Yami Tato Narsinga Bahar Narsingha, Hriday Narsingha, Narsingha, Madim Sharanam Prapade, Avatar Kamala Vare Nakham, Adbhuta Shringa, Dalida Hiranyakashipu Danubringa, Keshavadrita Narhari Rupa, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Jagadish Hare, Jai Narsingha Dev, Jai Narsingha Dev, Narsingha Dev, Jai Narsingha Dev, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prahlad Maharaj, Jai Prabhat, Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudev. Vinashak Narsingh Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. God Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So we end the session here. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's join our hands together and pray to the Supreme Lord that He may bless all of us to become His sincere devotees. We pray to the Supreme Lord to bless. If anybody is suffering from any ailment in our groups, may they recover fast and become His sincere devotees. We pray to the Supreme Lord to bless all those, the near and dear ones of our group members who lost their lives during Corona times. May Krishna bless them and they attain His lotus feet. We pray to the Supreme Lord to bless Guru Maharaj with a long and a healthy life. We pray to the Supreme Lord to take away Corona from this planet so that we are able to visit all the holy places as freely as the early days. We pray to the Supreme Lord to bless us, to empower us, so that we are able to distribute the Bhagavad Gita as vigorously, as aggressively as we did during the Srimad Bhagavatam marathon. May Krishna bless us that we are able to achieve our targets of the Bhagavad Gita marathon. So for His pleasure, for Guru Maharaj's pleasure, and for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. So let's all fold our hands together and do the Vancha Kalpataru Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha Kalpataru Bhaksha Kripa Sindhu Bhai Aivacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Nama. Vaishnav Thakur ki jai, Nanta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Shad Goswami Vrinda ki jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Krishna Balarama ki jai, Shri Gaurnitai ki jai, God Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Shri Radha Sham Sundar Bhagwan ki jai, Bhagavad Gita Yadarup ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. So thank you for joining with me. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Mother Banki Bihari Dasi. Thank you, all of you. And we'll meet again in the evening. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.